There's one car that BMW know they should have made, and that's because this one exists.
And that car is, of course, this. The G81 M3 Touring. A car that, in my opinion, has its proportions all wrong. The back of this car looks great. Wide stance and aggressive, but as you move around to the side, well, just look at that front third. It reminds me of a bodybuilder who skipped leg day.
And that car's been out for a little over a year now, and no matter how hard I try, I can't get on with the look of it. But with today's video being sponsored by Squarespace, it's brought me here to PerformanceM, and that's because they're going to be taking what, in my opinion, is the last of the good-looking 3 Series and creating what BMW should have done in the first place. And that brings me neatly on to this, the F31 340i Touring, the car that BM should have made into an M3. Now, although this is a fantastic car out the box, in order to make it anything like an M car, plenty of parts are needed. And here's my glamorous assistant, Jordan.
Morning.
Tell me all about what we've got here today, mate.
A bit of everything, really. Coilovers, diff, fuel pump, arms, cap, so a 2+ package.
And what kind of horsepower are we talking stage 2+?
Usually say around 470 brake.
Nice.
These are the little steel spaces so we can fit the arms and a headlamp adjuster to suit. And then these are power flex bushes for the rear, for the diff and for the subframe.
And why do we need stuff like that?
Stiffen it up on the back, the floppy as anything on the back.
Behind enemy lines, what are you doing over here? Is there anything from this pile that we're missing?
Double res delete, yeah. So take the resonators out the centre of the exhaust just for tone and flow, really.
Okay, so because this is a B58, for those who don't know, the M3, M4 comes with what engine?
That comes with an S55.
Which is a great engine, but sounds rubbish. This is a B58, which is a great engine and sounds great.
Jordan wanted to get the new factory LSD fitted first, so he set about removing all of the necessary components to do just that. Being underneath this Beamer makes a refreshing change for me. There wasn't a single seized or rusty bolt in sight.
One thing is for certain, I need to get me some newer cars to work on because this seems a doddle.
Jordan's even got me mucking in now. Look at this.
I'm already drafting in help here. The lads from VBT mucking in. Hey, teamwork makes a dream work, doesn't it?
It was off with the light level sensor from the lower arm and then onto unbolting the upper arms as well as the struts from the lower arms too. This is all in preparation to free up the movement required in the drive shafts to remove them from the old diff.
George is the newest member of PerformanceM. How are you finding it so far?
Good, mate, really good.
You're working for Shak though?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, it's good.
Off to make a coffee anyway. Did new boy George sound convincing to you? Undoing the 2 top bolts that hold the diff in position next, as well as whatever that is. A bit of a tap to release the prop shaft, and a gentle wiggle with a pry bar to release both drive shafts.
Jordan's had to draft in the muscle.
And it's in with the PowerFlex diff bush insert.
The new LSD is a direct replacement. The case is exactly the same, it's only the internals that are different, and it's also come directly from BMW. You them.
Oh, it's great to see Dad and Lad hard at work.
Now, because we deal with shitters on a daily basis, I'm told that this contraption, it's a piece of kit. What's going on here?
This works off magnets.
Right.
So when we work on shitty old cars...
Yeah. Oh, is that straight away?
Straight away.
No way, look at that.
And it glows red already.
I'd be there with a blowtorch for 10 minutes trying to heat it up.
This, mate, seconds it takes, it's mint.
For Christmas, I want one of them.
I couldn't believe how impressive that bolt heater machine was, so much so I went straight to Google to try and find one so I could complete my seized bolt removal certificate. I couldn't find a single company selling them online, so I should just find the manufacturer instead and sell them myself with a Squarespace website. They're dead easy to build yourself anyway. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace really is the #1 platform to help you run your business. And they've made it super easy for anybody to build their own website. You do not have to be fully certified like me. There are thousands of different website templates for you to choose from, and once you've found the one that suits your idea the best, you can add and edit text as well as any images or logos and make it as unique to you and your business as you want. And if that isn't enough, one of the best features by far is the ability to create your own email campaigns. Grow and engage your audience by creating powerful email content that matches your website, existing products, blog posts and logo keeping your messaging clear and consistent. And because a massive percentage of us browse websites on a mobile device, you can see what it'll look like on there too. So what are you waiting for? Go and create your amazing website today by checking out the link in the description box below and use code EvilGT for your 10% off.
We're tightening up the bolts to the new diff now. I'm going to see if Shak wants to take the Focus RS for a spin. So I'm trying to broaden Shak's horizons, aren't I, Shak? Because you're a BMW fanboy. Have a listen to this, Shak.
Why is that missing?
It fell off. It's a Ford, yeah. So me thing off that fell off. I need to either get a new one or glue it on. It is somewhere. It's knocking about somewhere. When was the last time you drove a manual?
Undeniable for a wheel drive.
Pulls really well, doesn't it? How did you find that, mate? Not the Greggs, I'm talking about the car.
Impressive, actually.
You enjoy that?
Surprise, I did, yeah. You can forget about the build quality of it. It's got loads and loads of character.
It has.
Yeah. And what you've done to it, did you do the diff and stuff?
No, it comes standard.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's quite impressive. Gearbox for me.
Mint, innit?
Mint.
Really, really snappy, direct.
Also with the lid.
Well, yeah, you had to ask me where reverse was at one point.
And the engine sounds amazing. I wasn't looking forward to it at the beginning, but then what did I say to you at the end? Can we go to Wales now?
Yeah, you want to go on a Wales road trip in it? Yeah. Good, I'm pleased you like it. Whilst me and Shak went for a spin in the Focus RS, Jordan has fitted the rear subframe bushes to stop it from being floppy, isn't that right? Shak, talk me through this car. So you came to me and said, I've got a customer and he wants everything on his 340i Touring.
Yeah, honestly, he needs an estate, or touring as we call it with the BMW. BMW don't make an F81, so touring M3.
Which is a shame.
Which
they should have done.
Yeah, which they should have done. But I'll be honest with you, I'm a much bigger fan of the B58, just because.
Than the S55?
Yeah, because they sound better.
Yeah, it does.
I like the way they tune. Personally, for me, they're more reliable. The turbos all go them every 5 minutes, so I don't think I need a crank hob upgrade. But obviously, the beauty of the S55 is the amount of power you can get out of it. This customer came in, he wanted touring, but he also wanted loads of power, he wanted to handle well. Also, it's the right place to come here because that's everything that we do here. So we do handling packages and we split them into different sections. So we do a power flex handling package because these original bushes on the subframe have voids in the bushes.
Right.
So when you're suddenly putting the power down or when you're going around corners, this whole subframe carries on moving.
Okay.
So if you hit like a really sharp right, for example, the subframe wants to carry on going the other way.
Yeah.
It gives you a bit of uncertainty when you're steering. Obviously we offer yellow and black.
I'm assuming the black are even harder.
Black even harder. I run black on mine. They are quite firm. Personally, for everyday road use, the yellows are more than enough. Okay. And we also put them in the diffs as well.
Yeah.
You put them in there.
And I'm assuming this stops the diff from rocking backwards and forwards and all that kind of stuff.
I've just recently released a set now as well, which are now metal ones that go in.
Metal?
Metal ones, yeah, that go in, which makes it even more firmer. Wow. So the diff, this is now we always recommend these after you've done your suspension mods. Putting a diff in on a car that's totally stock, the impact of that, yes, it gives you more straight line speed, but it's still going to be all over the place when you're hitting the corners hard. Going around a corner, when the back end comes out, you'll feel it coming out. Yeah. Just gives you more control to bring it back in again. Okay. But if you've got stock suspension, it's still going to be all over the place. So yes, it gives you a slight improvement. But the other issue you've got then is if you put a stock diff on stock shocks, because the shocks are so weak, it makes the front end very light because you've got more traction going forward. Okay. So we always advise go suspension first, then go for a diff.
Or in this case, do both at the same time.
Or do everything at the same time. Okay. Which obviously links us onto suspension upgrade. We're a big fan of the B14s. The damping and the rebounds all adjusted from factory as how they feel the car should be at. So there's no adjustments.
And it's good out of the box.
Yeah, the only adjustments we get is height adjustment. These are more on the firmer side on most coilovers, which is great on the touring because especially with all the weights on the car. They're a great kit out of the box because these at stock are very, very soft. These are genuine arms that are going on. We have spaces to go as the subframe's wider. Okay. On these we have these specially
get
made.
Them just in there. You have them specially made, like billet ones or whatever.
They are, yeah.
Can we mention this or not?
The company that makes them for BMW is Lemforder. Obviously, to sell it to retail, they have to scrub off the M badge off it. They can sell it then as a Lemforder.
As an aftermarket, cheaper OEM.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, just with it scrubbed up. But yes, obviously these will add camber and caster. Okay. So we tend to typically see around about 2.3 to 2.5 degrees of camber on the front with these on, and caster around about 7.5 degrees. which is great. Gives you a better turning, better feel on the steering.
So in this instance, the customer was like, I don't want this to be a pain in the ass to try and get MOT. So you said, well, we only offer for the road a sports car anyway, don't we?
We do, yeah. So you need a 200 cell sports car, which will pass MOT, which is what this one's having. It's a 5-inch sports car, and it's done by SLN Performance.
Okay.
The guy that owns SLN is a friend of mine. Great fit, to pass MOT. The great quality as well, you can see that as well.
Yeah, I was mentioning this to Jordan before. The quality of the welds and the finish looks really good. I'm surprised you've not taken the mick out of the fact that I can stand underneath this car.
And I can't.
And you can't.
And I've got a pat back, so I can't. Just carrying you all day.
So you're saying that you stock loads of them. Does that mean you get them very, very cheap?
No, we get nothing cheap. They're quite quiet from stock.
Yeah.
You can see why. 2 resonators.
2 resonators, obviously one here and one here. What do you do with these?
So we got a Scorpion supply, one for an F20 and an F30 now, which is a recent release, based at a double res delete. And it's a pipe that goes from, there's a little marker here where you can cut.
Yeah, Jordan was telling me before there's like a dent in it or something.
Yeah, so the reason for the dent is because you can upgrade these to an M Performance back box.
Okay.
So BMW know where to cut.
Oh,
so they cut it and put the M Performance back box onto the stock mid pipe.
I see. And obviously you go off the same.
So Scorpion have designed it with a mid pipe to go exactly where that point is.
Does that become ridiculously loud then, or just nice?
No, not ridiculously loud. Because we're running a sports car, we've got a valve back box as well. So on the valves closed, it will sound slightly louder than stock.
Yeah.
If the valves open, it'll be quite a lot louder than stock.
So that's a double res delete. It's definitely very ASBO.
Part of the Stage 2 Plus package, you get a fuel pump. Now, we always use a genuine Bosch pump, as seen by this box. What they tend to suffer on the stock pump is a lot of it's mid-range. You can only get to about 460, 470 foot-pounds on the stock pump. With the Gen 2 pump, which is TU pump as we call it, you'll get to about 550 foot-pounds.
So that's quite a significant uplift.
Huge, yeah.
That's well over 100 newton meters.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And that starts from around about 2,500 RPM all the way to about 5,000 RPM, where we can keep over 500 foot-pounds in that range. And you gain around about 20 brake.
Is there anything else left?
Yes, there is. So, obviously, it's great.
Hey, it's like we teed each other up for that question.
Isn't it? It's like we pre-planned it. I mean, it's all great. Put in a whole lot of suspension upgrades and hardware in, and then don't set it up properly. Because if you don't set it up properly, then the upgrades make a difference, but not as good as it could be. Most important thing that we found, especially on the BMWs, is geometry setup. We do our own custom alignment, which we use via string. It takes us about an hour to set it up on a car. We then can customise camber and toe in the rear. And on the front, because we're using the arms, the cam's really set, and then we'll adjust the toe accordingly. We have our own tried and tested settings that we use, which will be put on that. Now, the geometry setting, if I put you one on that's had one done just via laser alignment on a stock setup, and then we then adjust it to our own custom setup via string, you'll notice a big difference in the car. And mainly it's all steering, grip, forward traction, turning traction. When you adjust one, it compromises another. Obviously, we're adjusting to make sure it's best of fast road, which is good on turning, and as much traction as we can get with that.
This is the first time I've actually been out in a 340i or any kind of BMW with this diff on, I think. I've been out in an M2. Will an M2 run the same diff as this?
No, they're different, these.
Different diff?
Different diff. And also you've got to be careful that you have to bed these diffs in as well for 500 mile.
Okay, so you can't go kicking its head in. And you wouldn't do anyway because it's not your car, it's a customer's car.
I'm on a public road.
And you're on a public road.
You can see straight away just the feel of that.
Yeah.
It's very, very direct already.
Very pointy. Yeah. Feels good. Well, stabilisation come off then. It seems like a nice cruiser, this.
Yeah, and the B8, the B14s is what this has got. It's great for daily. Like I said, they're slightly on the firmer side, but it's nothing bad, is it?
No. It's a bit of a shame because obviously it's not Shak's car, it's not my car. We're not going to go driving this round like absolute lunatics. So hopefully we can get the owner of this car at some point and get him to drive it how he would drive it, just to get a feel for that diff. I'm interested to see the opinion of somebody who's had one of these cars with an open diff and then obviously with this uprated LSD. On to the exciting bit now, and that is tuning. This is the first run of Stage 2 Plus. I'm expecting big things here, Shak, because it's minus a million degrees outside. What horsepowers are we saying, Jord, without cheating?
I don't know, 468.
468. Shak, what are you saying?
465.
465. I'm going to say 470 then. Anything untoward on there? Anything you're worried about?
At the moment, I mean, fueling I'm a little bit possibly slightly concerned about. Apart from that, it seems quite good, as we expect from a B58.
What was the horsepower on that first run, Jordan?
469.7.
469.7? And what did it, right, you just leave it there.
like to smooth that off a bit. So we'll just lower the boost on when you first spools up.
Yeah.
On here, possibly change the ignition slightly as well.
Okay.
And that will just give it a smoother pickup.
The revision of that tune's now been flashed to the car. That should see a more consistent graph now. So conveniently I said 470, which it was 469.7 on the first run, but they weren't happy with how that was flowing. It's now 467.8 something, and conveniently, Jordan said 468. So does that mean you're buying breakfast then, Jord?
I'm not sure how these bets work, man.
That definitely, whoever's closest buys the breakfast, mate.
I think you've changed that. I'm not sure.
I'm going to go and see how much all this was from the main man, Shak. What have we gone with today? We've had coilovers, haven't we? What coilovers did we go for?
We've gone for B14 coilovers.
How much were they?
They are $895 on the website and they're discounted as it is.
They're already discounted.
They are, yeah.
Don't get that in already. You literally got that in straight away.
I'm not doing any more discounts.
I'm not doing any more.
Yeah.
Right, fine. Well, I'll leave it to the end and I'll try and nail you to the floor for a
Yeah,
even better deal. How much are the arms, the M3 arms?
They're $399.
$399. And this all includes fitting, by the way?
No. This is parts only. What are you trying to do to me?
He was sweating there. How much was the diff?
So the diff, so on the website it's $1695, but we do like a deal if you haven't fitted here.
Okay.
So we do a fitted deal for the diff, which is $1895, and that's for the manuals and autos.
Okay.
F20 and F30.
And do you think it makes 1,900 quid's worth of difference?
It does, yes, but only when you've done the suspension mods first, because we always recommend to do the diff after the suspension. Always.
Okay, bushes.
So we have the inserts. So obviously, one of the things that we always push hard on is the inserts, don't we? So we do the yellows and blacks.
Yeah.
I think this one's had yellows, this one. We do them on the website, we do yellows for $150, and if supplied and fitted price.
Is that diff and subframe?
Yeah, that's right. All inserts on the subframe on the rear.
Yeah.
And then the diff bushes as well, the inserts for them.
Okay.
So they're $150 for the yellows.
Okay.
But supplied and fitted price is $235.
We did the geo as well, the string alignment as well.
You got the option of having laser alignment, which is like stock setup.
Yeah.
But because this is at arms, and we're dropping the height of it, then also you want to take advantage of that. The cost of having string alignment, we charge £200, which is our own custom alignment that we've tried and tested across various cars. Scorpion double raised delete, so that's something that we spoke to Scorpion about, that we wanted something for the F30 and the B58. So I've sold a few of these now. Supplied and fitted on is $399, removes both resonators. And it goes really well with a sports car.
Okay.
Gives a really nice
so
tone
it's
to
not
the
too loud. Still got the back box in there as well.
Yeah, the back box is valved, so when you're in comfort, it'll still be quieter. And then when you put it in Sport Plus and the valve's open,
Asbo.
all hell breaks loose, yeah.
And then, obviously, the best bit.
Power. Everyone's power.
So this one went for the Stage 2 Plus.
They did, yeah. So we do this as a package. And the reason because is on the B58, mainly, most people go Stage 1, which is just your ECU tune, or they just want to go straight to Stage 2 Plus. So with the Stage 2 Plus package that we offer a sports cat or a D-cat. This one's had a sports cat, a fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump, a panel filter, an ECU custom tune done on a Dino, and XHP Stage 3. That's the gearbox.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we always go with XHP. I mean, you can go custom tune on the gearbox, but XHP is so good. There's no need for that. There's literally, we flash it. There's loads of custom changes we can make within that, like with launching and the way it shifts gear in M mode, stuff like that. We had one earlier that wanted to set off in second gear in comfort all the time.
So how much is that?
So all done and dusted, $1,650. Now to go from 340, 350 brake as they tend to make on a dyno to what this is made, 470 brake, for $1,650. Is good value for money, I would say.
What is the total bill? Bear in mind, I'm not paying for it, so I don't mind you charging full price.
Just over, smidges over $6,000.
£6,000, but that is to completely transform a good car to an amazing car for £6,000.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you're making an F30 chassis as close as you can get to. It'll never be a full M car because of the chassis is different. It's not as wide, but it's as close as it's going to get to. It'll be a lot firmer on the road. It'll feel a lot better. It'll have a lot more turning. It'll have more grip now. It'll sound amazing. The B58 sounds brilliant, and it'll have 470 horsepower on his right foot. I mean, what isn't there to like?
If anybody from our channel wanted to come down and they had a B58 or any other kind of BMW for that matter, doesn't matter what it is, and they wanted some, very cheap prices from Shak. What we're saying, can we get Evil GT99 going? There's going to be no codes online. I know a lot of people message me and say, what's the code, what's the discount code? There isn't one. Just ring up and ask for Shak or Kieran and George at the end. Just ask for any one of these guys and just quote Evil GT and the lads will look after you.
Yeah, we'll make sure we look after you, and obviously anyone that comes to the channel we like to know anyway, so if they give us a call, then we know they'll come from the channel.
I'm sure the chap whose car this is going to absolutely love it. But before he goes out in it, can we?
Go on then.
It has got a new diff. We are going to go steady, but Be interesting to see how much quicker this feels over how it did before. It is pitch black, so apologies for the lack of lighting. There's not really a great deal I can do about that.
First thing you'll notice is the torque, is the mid-range all of a sudden.
Jesus. Very quickly, let's go.
Tyres are a bit cold.
Tyres are cold. You gave it the tiniest of little blips on the throttle then, and the back end wanted to overtake you. But yeah, it definitely feels quick. That's mad. You feel like, it feels like you're just giving the throttle a little bit, and I can see the traction control light flickering. But it is also 1.5 degrees Celsius outside as well.
There's ice on the floor, so you have to be very, very careful. But you can feel the pickup without me even hardly putting my foot down.
Oh yeah, it goes very, very well. Them B58s sound absolutely mega. Now I know the engine in the F8 to the S55 is a phenomenal engine. I know the engine in the G80 series, the S58, phenomenal engine. But you just can't get them to sound like that. And that for me is a big part of the engine. It's not just about performance, it's about how it sounds as well.
You have to be so careful with the traction control.
I can feel you being tentative with it.
Yeah,
but all through the gears there's no let up at all. It just keeps going and keeps going and keeps pulling.
Yeah,
it feels like it's got so much more horsepower than 470.
That's the beauty of the B58, just the torquiness and endless power, isn't it?
So there we go. Thank you very much for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please do consider liking and subscribing and telling all your mates about Evil GT and about our videos. Thank you very much to the guys at PerformanceM. Yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.